hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yo. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yo, I'm too up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
Look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Got me back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. How I give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Private. You need a in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. No. I'm just here to remind you, but never mind me, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me. I live in you. Both of our fire offend you.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models and it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? The first carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Carolina getting set to take the field. Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw now on 1st down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Leopard.
Back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Detroit, Detroit. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Set. Green, 39.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They pitch it out to Cook. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Over! Watch it now, Barney!
To throw on 2nd down. Jones. The left side caught by Diggs. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney!
A toss to Cook. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Tried to get it on the edge there, but there was no seal, nowhere to go, had to step out.
Yeah, sometimes the defense just wins those battles because ordinarily the guy setting the edge, offensive tackle, tight end, H-back, someone of that caliber, wasn't there on that play. Defense wins it in a big way, no gain at all for the offense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now it's Freeman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Watch it now, Barney! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete to right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about it. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. unable to find anyone open.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings now heading on to the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And a broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game for the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Jones now to throw on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Jones operating from the gun. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Returning here is Wright. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's right. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And Freeman lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 46 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Gun!
They'll run with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
He'll get it up the middle. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you miss.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They start the drive with Cook. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on,
you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
We got three. Detroit!
Throwing, Jones. These guys man the crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones, flushed out right. And avoids the contact by sliding. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Watch him now, Barney! Gun!
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Inside 4 minutes to go,
Detroit,
third quarter.
Detroit!
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Watch it now, Barney!
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep. Oh, wide open. Complete. A big play there for the Panthers. 55 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 14. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Watch it now, Barney!
Here's Jones looking to throw on second down. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Carlson now to kick this one away. Carolina getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Freeman again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, third and long. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Ian Thomas, 77 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Fights him off. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Green 39.
Handoff comes to Cook. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. The tackle made by Deshaun Hall.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Watch the out! Watch the out!
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jones now operating from the gun. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now it's right. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to have a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. Caught left side by Funchess. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll drop to throw. Able to shift, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more.
And now here's another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Cook stripped. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. This is Freeman, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up.
And Freeman lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A give. This is Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That'll go as has a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jones. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Left side, Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit. Detroit.
From the gun, Jones. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On the carry, it's Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup.
Right, here we go.
And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
Over.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugarcoating on this one.
And you can already see the T-shirts at training camp next year, can't you? Unfinished business. Because they've got to find a way to motivate these guys to go through all the same pain, right? All the same tough stuff, and find their way back and give themselves a chance to win this game again next year.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.